Hey, hope you're having a great day. This is Darin Kidd, and today we're going to talk about top money earner secrets when it comes to duplication. So if you're looking to grow your business, away from you, where it's growing with or without you, then I'm going to give you some really important tips today to implement into your business. And even if you don't have a team yet, it's okay, because a lot of times it's easier to start this from the very beginning than to go back and try to completely retrain your entire organization. But you can do it no matter what. So do me a favor as you join, let me know where you're watching from, what city, what state, what province in Canada. Just want to make sure. I've been having a few technical issues with my Wi-Fi this morning. And so let me know where you're watching from. And also too, no matter what channel you're watching, whether it's YouTube, whether you're watching on Facebook, make sure you like the page, make sure you comment. All right, we got somebody from Thomas, Poland. All right, so we're working. Hey, Debbie, thanks for joining, Wendy. So whether you're on YouTube or Facebook, make sure you click that like, you click that subscribe button, and then also click the little bell if you're on YouTube. That way you get alerts when I bring you more and more training. And I can tell you, you're going to see a major difference in my brand. We're really going to take everything up to the next level. We're getting ready to relaunch my website. We're going to relaunch my YouTube channel. We're going to have new blog posts. We're going to be bringing you more and more resources that you can use. And what I did was I put on the screen darinkid.com/3keys, which is a very basic, free resource. 3 things that you have to be successful. So go ahead and download that. It's free for you and your organization. Hey, Howard. Hey, Lisa, Justin, Sherry, got some of my favorite people on here today. All right, so let's get straight into the training. What is duplication in network marketing? All right, let me know how many of you have read the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Okay, so Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. It's one of the best-selling business books of all times. And he talks about how when he was growing up, his dad, highly educated, worked for the government. And when he passed away, he was in debt. Okay, that was his poor dad. Then his friend's dad, which had a lack of education from the world's perspective. He didn't have a college degree, but he was one of the wealthiest people in Hawaii. And he considered that his rich dad. And so in the book, he tells you the differences in some of the things that they taught him. One of those was, his poor dad said, hey, look, go to school, get good what, right? Get a good job and work for money. Exchange time for money, right? That's what we were taught in school. We were taught to be an employee. We weren't really educated and taught on how to go out and become a business owner and an entrepreneur and, create the lifestyle that we really love. Now, it doesn't mean that jobs are bad. I've got friends of mine and family members, they love what they do. But also there's a lot of them that go, hey, you know what? I love what I do, but I would love to do it because I want to, not because I have to. And their job doesn't pay them enough, some of them. And so, that was his poor dad. His rich dad said, no, you have to develop assets that throw off cash and have money work for you. Most people look for work. Wealthy people build networks. All right. J. Paul Getty, one of the first recorded billionaires in history, he said, I would much rather get 1% off of 100 people's efforts than 100% effort of my own. So duplication, when it comes to network marketing, it's replicating the right things, in your business. And it could be different things. Developing leaders, that comes down to duplication. Are you duplicating the right things? Because everything that you do, good or bad, how many of you have kids? Let me know, right? All right. If you have kids, you understand that everything you do, good or bad, duplicates. And you also understand, if you have children like I do, that for some reason the bad duplicates faster than the good, right? You can do all these good things and you slip up and say something that you shouldn't. And what's the one thing that they remember and they happen to repeat at the worst possible time? It's the it's the bad things. And so it's, duplicating the right things in your organization when it comes to leadership. When it comes to culture, you create a culture and a rhythm in your organization. There's, having at one point when I was in the field for 28 years, it was very interesting to see how I could have one organization there was like, man, they were so much fun. They were so positive. It was like almost like they did interviews on, look, if you're not a positive and fun person, you're not going to join our team. And then I had other organizations or pockets in an organization where it was the complete opposite. And it all came down to the leader, right? What was duplicating was what was happening at the top. And so it could be your rhythm and your culture and your behavior. And duplication is extremely important when it comes to driving the right behaviors and creating the right processes in your business that eventually lead you to the results that you want, which is getting customers and getting customer getters. When it comes to another thing, when it comes to the power of duplication, so we talked about what is duplication. It's creating if the master copy is going to duplicate, we want to make sure the master copy is worth duplicating. Then when you talk about the power of duplication, the power of duplication is being able to replicate yourself, work yourself out of a job. Like, I don't want to be the best at what I do. I want to be able to create and develop leaders that don't need me. If you have people on your team and they're like, hey, you know what? I'm going to make more money than you. That's a good thing. Like, I would tell people when they would share that with me, I'm like, hey, I want you to, because that means I have a strong business. And it means that I've helped duplicate, the right things in my organization. So the power of duplication is you can replicate yourself, and it gives you the ability. No, this is not an income claim. It's not a get rich quick, right? Because if you're promising people they're going to get rich by doing nothing, we're not being honest, right? And it's just not true. They have to go in and put in the work. But you have the ability with this amazing business model, if you're in the network marketing business or any other business, to go out and create some time freedom, to be able to develop some income that comes in, have assets that are throwing off cash. And when you're building a team, we don't look at people as an asset. Okay. We look at them as a human being that we love and we care about. And we want to add value to their life by helping them achieve their goals and their dreams. So the power of duplication, there's a lot of benefits when it comes to the power of duplication. Now, how do you duplicate? Then I'm going to give you 3 simple tips. Right. And actually my tips have tips in this training. So I'm going to give you some really good stuff that I wish I would have knew, years before I knew them, because I would have duplicated and built a much bigger business a lot faster. And I would have had a more stable business earlier in my career when I was a distributor, like a lot of you, than later on in the game. So how do you duplicate in network marketing? Number 1, you keep it very simple. Right? You want to keep it very simple. And by the way, when it comes to direct sales, network marketing, when my wife and I had our franchises, we had one. Okay. And that one, the investment between us and our partners was about $300,000. And man, things are going well, even though it was a crazy amount of work. Like, I didn't even sleep for months and months and months. And we're like, hey, we want to have another asset that is throwing off cash. And so what do? We had to go find out what was available. And the next thing that was available was 6.5 hours away. So we had to drive 6.5 hours. We had to look at different properties. We had to sign a 5-year lease. And then what happened when we were getting ready to launch that location, we had 7 other franchises, different names, different franchises, competitors open up within 3 miles by the time we opened up. And then it went from 300,000 with the first one. We ran over another 100,000 for a total of over 400,000 with the second one. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's just, but that's what happened when you wanted to duplicate an asset. In network marketing, people, right? They're the ones that you invest in, and they're the ones that you teach to duplicate the right behaviors and the right things in your organization. But you want to keep it very simple. All right, let me know in the comments real quick. Franchises, that's exactly what they do. If you look at McDonald's, 30,000 McDonald's, right? How many agree they do not have the best hamburger? We don't even know what the meat is. It's mystery meat, but they have 30,000 McDonald's. How can you walk into a McDonald's? And if I could see all of you, I did this on a Zoom the other night. I'm like, hey, listen, if you're standing at the counter, which side is the fry machine? People from all over, every one of them pointed to the left. And then I go, which side is the shake machine? They said right. I go, what color is a cheeseburger wrapper? And they all said yellow. Like I could see their mouths going yellow. And then I told them, hey, look, you got to stop eating at McDonald's so much. And we laughed, but it's true. 30,000 McDonald's, they keep things very simple because they know that it has to duplicate no matter what country, no matter what location. They use similar recipes. And if you buy the franchise, you don't reinvent the wheel. You do exactly what they tell you to do. You go to Hamburger University because you want to make sure that you have as high a probability of having success as you possibly can, knowing that there were 30,000 franchises that already paved the way and prove that you can have success with their simple, duplicatable, proven formula and system. Well, that's the way that I would think about my team. Basics are what are going to create duplication in your organization. Fancy does not. And a lot of times, well, let me just give you the numbers. 80% of production, by the way, what is a franchise, just curious, that you can think of that does a really good job at duplication, right? I was thinking about McDonald's. I was thinking about Starbucks, right? Whether you like it or not, no matter where you go, no matter what Starbucks, if you go, I want this drink, they do exactly the same thing in every Starbucks. Okay, so they duplicated the exact formula, right, for every single drink, how much ice, they even have the scoops for the right amount of ice, the right amount of shots, the right amount of pumps when it comes to if you're getting different sweeteners. Okay, exactly the same thing. Now, so how do you duplicate network marketing? Keep things very simple. And then another thing that you do is you recognize, spotlight, okay, and praise the right behaviors. So when you have people that are doing the right thing, you want to continue to encourage that, spotlight it, and recognize it because you want them doing more of those things. And by the way, let's go back to what I was talking about. 80% of production comes from new people. 80%. When you have a network, when you have a brand new person join your business, right? They know the least amount and they're very excited. So how do they go out and produce 80% of the production? Because they don't know what they don't know. They're keeping it very simple. And then the longer we're in, then guess what happens? You learn every ingredient in your products. You learn the compensation plan backwards and forwards, right? You've done all the research and you have all the articles. And then what happens? We start to verbally vomit on, I know I did this back when I was a distributor. We verbally vomit on our team. Okay, when we're trying to coach them, we become a personal development coach and compensation plan expert. And then we're talking to prospects. We feel like because we know more, we have to share more. And a confused mind does nothing, whether it's a prospect or whether it's someone on your team. You want to make sure you keep things very simple. It takes a genius to keep it simple when you're building a business. Okay, it takes a genius to keep it simple. That's why it's always important to go back, even, no matter, I don't care if you're a 6 or 7 figure earner, it is always important to go back and continue to hear these things 1,000 times because out of sight, out of mind. And then we get away from it and we forget what it's like you forget what it's like to be a new person joining your business. And all right, so let's do this. I'm going to give you 3 tips real quick. Number 1, okay, the top money earner secrets when it comes to duplication. Number 1, they have a big vision, right? They have a big vision. Top money earners, and it doesn't mean that they started out thinking they were going to be a top money earner. Matter of fact, the majority of people did not. Most people, when they get in, if they can make a few $100s a month, it would change their world, right? Larry Thompson, the Thompson rule, and he talks about, hey, 80% of the people get into the industry because their goal is to make $300 to $500 per month, and they're happy doing that, right? Lisa, thank you for noting that for me, right? Keeping me on track. And so then 15%, $2,000 to $3,000 a month, and then less than 5% is more than that. And most top money earners, if you ask them, hey, listen, did you ever think you would get to where you are? At first, they were just getting in to pay off the credit card debt, put their kids in a private school, give more to their church or whatever it was. But they do have a vision of a better future. And your vision is a magnet. It pulls you forward through the challenging times. It pulls you forward when you fear doing certain things because It's uncomfortable to do something we're not familiar with. And so they have a big vision, right? They're possibility thinkers, and their vision is bigger than their challenges and bigger than their excuses. That's number one. Number two, they lead from the front and they put in the work. Never ask your organization to do something you're not willing to do yourself. I know that sounds simple, but I've had people that have listened to my training so many times. And I was talking to one of them the other day, and this person goes, hey, listen, I just got to the point I'm trying to work with the people that I have. And then I'm like, hey, can I coach you? She goes, absolutely. I'm like, you're in management mode. You went from getting customers and getting customer getters. And I go, now you're in management mode, and it's only a matter of time before you go into survival mode. And then she went on to say, hey, listen, I'm running for a rank this month, but I don't know if I have anyone that's running for another rank that she needed to achieve that goal. And by the way, I've done all of these things probably thousands of times more than any of you the wrong way, which is why I love teaching you, helping you hopefully shorten your learning curve. And I'm like, see, that's why you always stay in phase one, which is getting customers and getting customer getters. What your team will do what you do, not what you say. So when you go from recruiting or getting customers and getting customer getters, then you go into management mode. It's only a matter of time before you go into survival. And then your team, they do exactly what you do. They go, hey, our leader, they're just managing their team. Go team, go. I need to make more money. That's not the way it works. They're not in the business for you. They're in the business for them. And a friend of mine, we started the exact same company, the exact same day. And I did exactly what I'm telling you not to do. I went from phase one, okay, working it, treating it like a business, getting customers, then getting some customer getters, then management. And then eventually I go, dang it, I'm in management mode. I need to get back. I stopped doing what I did that got me to where I was. Big mistake. Fast forward 3 years later, that repeating pattern continually showed up in my business and in my life. 3 years later, yes, I was making really good money, but his income was 17 times the amount that mine was. And mine was a 6-figure income, right? Was he 17 times better? No, but he treated it every day. And I remember asking him, because he did this for over a decade, every month, he was a top producer in the company. And I'm like, man, why would you do that? Like, you're making a massive amount of money. And he's like, you know what? Because I never want to ask my team to do something that I'm not willing to do myself. And it was so true. So they have a big vision. Number two, they lead from the front and they put in the work. They consistently work on themselves, not just working on the business. But when I mean lead from the front, right, we're either growing or declining. So are you the leader? Okay, when they watch you, when they listen to you, when they're around you, do they know you're also leading by example by working on yourself, right? Every single day you're growing. Okay, you're working on becoming a better version of yourself. If they didn't see you and all of a sudden 12 months from now, they hang out with you a bit, will they say, oh my gosh, like things have changed. You're not the same person you were 12 months ago. Because if you're improving and growing daily, even if it's only 1% in 12 months, that's you grew 37 times, right? Not 37%. You're 37 times stronger than you were 12 months before. So are you leading by example, building your business? Are you leading by example, working on yourself? Okay. You want to make sure that I would rather watch a leader than listen to one any day of the week. All right, let's see. So we talked about most people will make the mistake of stop doing what they did to get them where they are, and we stay in phase one. Then last but not least, they do not make it about them, right? Big egos equal small businesses. Big egos equal small businesses. I don't want when I was building, I didn't want it about me. I wanted it about them. Okay, I wanted to make sure I was providing value to them. I wanted to make sure that they were system dependent, not Darin dependent. And so how do you not make it about you? A couple things. You're using third-party tools. You're using third-party tools. Another key when it comes to duplication, if your mouth is moving, you should be pointing to something else and teaching your team to do the same thing. I don't want 10 people that are experts. They know every ingredient. They know everything about the comp plan. They know every system. I want an army of rookies. Doesn't mean we're not growing. Doesn't mean we're not working on getting better. That's not what I'm saying. Okay. We're all, we're either green and growing or we're ripe and rotten. But what I'm saying is I want an army of people, that are learning and growing every day. So what that does, it improves their posture. It improves their belief. It drives their activity. But I want to make the activities are duplicatable. When I was working at a paint warehouse and I went into a company, right? And they had, this has been, 20 years ago, and they had a legal service. And so people knew that I was bankrupt. They knew that I was a college dropout. They knew that I had failed at everything in life. Okay, paint warehouse, college dropout, failure. And I go to talk to them about a legal service. If it was about me, they're like, Darin, okay, so you work at a paint warehouse and you're broke, but now you're an attorney. But what happened was that was when I learned, hey, it can't be about me. If my mouth is moving, I'm the messenger, not the message. I've got to point to something else that takes the spotlight off of me. And not only do the third-party tools validate the information, but it also is part of their training because they know they can do what you just did when you pointed them to a third-party tool. Okay, so make sure that you're using third-party tools and it's not about you. Even when I could do a great presentation, I tried never to do a good presentation or never do a presentation unless it was something I knew they could do and they had time to do, and they didn't mind doing to their friends, family, and neighbors, right? So back in those days, it was a flip chart. So I was pointing and reading and flipping the paper. Okay, now you have videos, you have Zooms, you have websites, you have apps, you have ATM groups where you're putting them in a Facebook group and you're tagging them in a video, right? So make sure you're using third-party tools. They promote the systems. Another way that you make sure it's not about you, they promote the systems. I'm sure you have amazing information for your organization. Okay, I don't doubt that at all. But what's the old saying? A prophet's not known in his backyard or her backyard. And they get tired of hearing from us. My team got tired of hearing from me. But when I would point them to the systems, the company update call, or the weekly company training, or your organization, their training, right? When you're promoting those systems, if someone came to me, I didn't want to be customer service. I knew that if I ever wanted to have a big organization, right, a massive organization, I had to do in the beginning what I would have to do if I had a massive team. So in other words, if it was just 5 or 10 people, I could be customer service. I mean, it makes you feel good because you're helping people for a certain period of time, then you get burned out. But you can't be customer service to several thousand people. So I learned to go, hey, listen, that's a great question. Are you in front of your computer? Let me show you how to log into your back office and where to find that information. Okay, it'll do a lot better job than I will. Oh, you want me to explain the comp plan? I'll confuse both of us. Okay, but do you have just 2 seconds? Great. Let me point you toward a video that does a better job. And there's a 1-page overview sheet that you can download that's going to do a lot better job explaining it than I can. And by the way, after you watch the video, after you go through the 1-page sheet, if you have any questions, I'm happy to jump on the phone with you after that, or do a Zoom or whatever we need to do. So I made sure that I was always pointing them, because if you give someone a fish, we know the saying, right? You only feed them for the day. But if you teach them to fish, you can feed them for a lifetime. And they don't make it about them. They focus on serving and helping other people. And then let me just give you one more bonus tip. Okay, by the way, let me know in the comments, like, what tip of those 3, okay, I want you to have a strategy when you jump off of the training. Which one of those 3 are you going to focus on working on today? Okay, is it working on, maybe creating a bigger vision, getting crystal clear on why you're building your business, so that vision is going to start pulling you forward to do the things that you've been procrastinating and not doing already? Is it number 2? You're like, you know what, man, I'm glad you said this, Darin, because it's hard to, Les Brown, I love when he says this, It's hard to read the label when you're in the box. It's hard to see the picture when you're in the frame. So maybe some of you are like, man, when you said lead from the front, man, I'm not really working on myself like I used to. And man, I have gotten into management mode. I really need to get out there. And by the way, when you get out of management mode and you're getting new customers and you're building your business and you're getting new customer getters, it re-energizes you and your team knows it. And then also it gives you stories that can re-energize some of the people on your team that are not doing a whole lot. And then create some fear of loss and some of the, and we don't say this to our team, right? To your team. But sometimes I know I used to get old and cold, right? I wanted to sit, soak, and be sour and just complain about everything. But when you stay in that phase one, it's energizing for you and it's energizing for your team when they hear the stories and they watch you. Okay, so is it number 2? You lead from the front, put in the work, or is it number 3? Hey, you know what? I want to make sure that I continue to not make it about me. I want to make sure I'm promoting third-party tools. I'm promoting the right systems. I want to make sure that I'm also focused on what's in it for them. How can I add value to their life? Now, I'm not saying you do it for them because that's not duplicatable, but I would match them energy for energy. I even give them a little more energy than they give me. You take a step, I'll take 2 steps. But you have to be willing to participate in your own rescue. So I focused on, adding value. All right, so let's see real quick. All right, so now let's go to bonus tip. They're committed and they keep pushing no matter how they feel. Okay, that's another top money earner secret. And this is no matter what industry. I don't care if it's real estate. I don't care if it's mortgages. I don't care what it is. You're not going to feel like it 99% of the time. But they continue to push forward no matter how they feel. Understanding that we can't control the results, but we can control the activities that will eventually get us to the results. And eventually, if you're not having the success that you want to have or you should have, one of 2 things you're not doing, actually it could be 3 things. You're not doing something enough or you're not doing something right. And it could be both. It could be you're not doing enough of the right things. So you want to make sure that you're planting the seeds, cultivating, watering the seeds, knowing that a harvest is going to come, knowing that you're going to not be so good at a lot of these things at first, but you're going to continue to get better and better and better every single day. Right? You're going to fail forward. Failure is not final unless you quit. So I appreciate everybody jumping on and hopefully got some value out of the, top money earner secrets for duplication. Again, knowledge is not power. It's potential power. It's making sure that you put in the work before you feel like you're ready. You continue to work on yourself. And I'm just proud of you for plugging in. And if you have someone you're like, hey, look, they need to hear this, go ahead and make sure you tag them, make sure you share the video, make sure you, just get them connected because like you're seeing on here, this is it's a training that it doesn't cost anything, right? But the cost of not knowing this information, that could cost you a lot of money. So I hope you have a great day. We'll see you on the next training and thanks so much for joining.